Hello and welcome, this is Rooflemonger. Now with the release of Season 2 of Dragon Ball FighterZ, and also we have the release of Jiren and Videl, and plus all the other characters that'll come later in Season 2, we have had a lot of people return to Dragon Ball FighterZ that have fell off for whatever reason. Could be a long time ago, could be recent, and also we've had a lot of new people, a lot of fresh blood come into the game. So the intention of this video is to show off 20 essential tips for Dragon Ball FighterZ for new and returning players. I'll be covering a lot of gameplay stuff, some stuff in training mode, just some stuff how to use the lobby and online features in general for new and lapsed players. So without any further ado, let's get right to it. Alright, so to start off our tip series here, let's start with a fairly easy one, but it's not that easy because, the game doesn't really tell you this. So first up, we're just going to turn on our damage values just so you can see here. So if we do the Dragon Rush, so you can see here, all said, it does 1,490 damage. But, let's see here, so I'm doing Dragon Rush again. How come it just did more damage? So it is literally as simple as you holding in your Dragon Rush will make you do more damage. You'll get more hits, and just go from there. Once again, the game doesn't really teach you this. Even the bar gain's different. So here we gained almost a bar. And if we hold it in here, now we're going to do the same thing. And we gain just a little bit more bar. So this is a very important thing. Except for the most edge case advanced combos, you always want to hold in the button for the Dragon Rush, because it just always gives you more hit, more bar, and more damage. Now, we just mentioned here in the first tip here how, the Hell Dragon Rush gives you a little more meter. Let's talk about meter gain. So, for people who are not aware of Dragon Ball FighterZ, how it works, meter gain, obviously you get it just, hitting the enemy. You also get it from getting hit and all that kind of stuff. But you also get it for being aggressive. So, just the act of moving forward. So I'm just walking forward with Ginyu, and look at my bar. So once I'm already touching the enemy, I won't get any more bar further. But the act of closing space and being aggressive towards your enemy is rewarded in this game. So if you are looking forward to just getting a little bit of bar, then hey, moving forward is a way to do it. Now also, so when we're hitting the enemy here, you can see our bar gain going pretty high up here. A new change in Season 2 is if you spend bar in any way, shape, or form, your bar gain will be curtailed a little bit for a short amount of time. So say we're going to use the basic vanish attack here, and then we're going to keep attacking the enemy. See how our bar gain is not quite as high as it used to be? Now it's back to normal. It is only a small penalty. It won't last too long. But every time you spend bar in any way, shape, or form, be it a super, be it whatever, all your bar gain is curtailed. Now, even the act of walking forward, see that? So even the act of walking forward will gain you less bar. Everything will gain you less bar for a short amount of time. After you spend bar, be it in the combo, be it in a raw advantage, be it whatever situation. So keep in mind, if you're looking to build the maximum amount of bar in a combo or whatever, just try to hold back a little bit on your meter usage. Now, I want to talk about one of the best ways to avoid throws if you know the throw is coming. So you can tech a throw by hitting a button, and honestly, the time is a little more strict than most people are comfortable with, to be brutally honest. It's easier to tech a Dragon Rush with your own Dragon Rush if you see it coming. The timing is a lot more forgiving on that, but the easiest way to avoid a Dragon Rush if you know it's coming is to simply backdash. If you're not aware, backdashes in all shapes and forms, so this is air backdash as well, are completely immune to throws. So you cannot be thrown in any way, shape, or form while you are backdashing. Provided with the fact also in Season 2, distance gain on backdashes is a lot better than it used to be. This makes backdashing a much better option overall in many different ways than it used to be. So please keep that in mind. Once again, backdashes are completely immune to all throws, and that's all command throws too, not just Dragon Rushes. So you've been playing around for a little bit, you probably noticed that enemies have two different health values. So you can see here we hit Ginyu a bit, and some of his health is now blue. So what that means is simply that's recoverable health. So you can recover it either by being tagged out, so he'll recover that slowly, as you can see here, or conversely, all blue health if you are in Sparking Blast can be recovered just by being in Sparking Blast. You can't recover past that maximum, just so you know, but you can recover up to that maximum. One thing to note here too as well, any invincible move, be it a raw level 3, be it an uppercut, will only ever do blue health and damage. Meaning at that point it is very valuable for you to either Sparking Blast or tag out the character, because that'll be a significant amount of blue health to recover. Also, if you want to stop the enemy from recovering blue health, all you have to do is snap them back against their will, and if they're tagged in, once they are tagged out and have that recoverable health, Be it by force or willingly. If you tag them in willingly, no matter what, they will lose all of that blue recoverable health. Managing blue health is a very important thing in this game. In Season 2, there is less blue health to go around, making it all the more valuable yet. So, the basic Ki Blast. One thing I want to stress here is not all basic Ki Blasts are created equal. Like, using Ginyu immediately shows that, as Ginyu summons the Ginyu Force when he does a basic Ki Blast, right? So it's different across the board. We'll bring in here Zamasu. Zamasu kind of has a more standard one. So one thing to note here with most basic Ki Blasts here is you can kind of freely homing dash through them. So if I try to do this here, Frieza could just as easily homing dash through it. Weak projectiles, as we so call basic Ki Blasts, are freely able to be homing dashed through. Now, that's not to say all weak projectiles are created equal here. So if we bring in Nappa, so he has a basic Ki Blast just the same here. And what happens when we do these together here? Well, he just cleans Zamasu's clock. So certain Ki Blasts have inherent strength differences even between just the basic weak projectile structure. So someone like Nappa has a strong weak projectile, whereas someone like Zamasu, if you want to just call it a weak projectile, I suppose, works out that way. Now, coming with a newcomer Jiren, Jiren also changes the way things work again. So his projectile also is in the strong category like Nappa's, but he also does not allow you to homing dash through his basic Ki Blast. So just keep in mind, play around with your characters, see what works for you, and just test around, because even though it's a fairly homogenous thing, the basic Ki Blast, as you see here, a lot of basic Ki Blasts kind of play by their own rules. Now, keeping with basic Ki Blasts here, one thing that's very important to note, on top of obviously being able to homing dash through it, all that kind of stuff, you are also on block with basic Ki Blasts, allowed to reflect on block. So normally, if you're blocking a string, you're not allowed to reflect, but if you're blocking a weak projectile, you are allowed to reflect, and also you're allowed to homing dash on block. As see here, so we successfully blocked the first few, then homing dash through the rest. Now, keep in mind also specifically, certain moves are keyed, so you're allowed to homing dash or reflect them on block when you normally couldn't. So, Vegeta, this is a product of a nerf that happened a long time ago before making this video, but before, if you blocked this, you were just locked down. So now, after you successfully block the move, you are allowed to reflect, or once again, allowed to homing dash. Now, a fairly important tip to know about combo structure in this game is how to utilize the auto combos in your combo structure. And I'm not just talking about like you just smash light and your whole auto combo plays out. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something like this. So if we just do something based like this, so I'm just going to knock up the phone in the air and go light, medium, and let's see what happens. Well, I missed. That sucks, right? So as you can see here, I just quite don't have the height to keep going. But one of the things, especially in the air, is the auto combo. If you just do light, light, so light in the air effectively acts as light medium, just so you know. So if I do light, it's always going to do its best to keep pace with the foe, meaning it can raise you up in the air a lot higher than it normally otherwise could. So now we try the exact same combo. And not only did we not miss, we're a lot higher up in the air than we were before. So once again, keep in mind, especially in air combo structures, light counts as effectively light medium. It does all the same damage, you don't need to worry about that kind of stuff. But light will keep you a lot higher in the air and more level with your foe than a light medium will. So if we just do light medium, yeah, once again we just miss again, right? So for the purposes of timing and all that, just keep in mind light is a much bigger deal than light medium. Now sometimes you don't want the height. Once again, there's advanced combos where you don't want to do this, sure. But for the most part, using the auto combo in the air, if you're just going to be using lights and mediums, and specifically that order, then it is always better to go light just to get the extra height. Now let's talk about damage scaling. So I'm just going to use a very basic 2-hit combo here, down medium, stand medium. So it does 1330 total, and the second hit here, the stand medium, did 630. So now I'm just going to do light into stand medium. What happened there? So obviously the light into stand medium does less damage combo-wise, you would expect so, but why does the stand medium do less damage now? Much same here. If we just do an instant air jumping heavy, right into that medium, same deal. So basically speaking, for the most part, anything that starts a combo other than a raw medium on the ground or a raw heavy on the ground is going to cause your combo to scale. So any jumping attack, any light attack, Any assist, if the assist starts the combo, any basic key blast. Some people, you can time it specifically so their overhead will lead no combo, same deal. So basically anything that is not a standing medium or crouching, but like your feet on the ground medium or your feet on the ground heavy will cause a combo to scale. Now there are some special rules, like Jiren's down and light specifically does not cause scaling. Broly's stand medium and crouch mediums do cause scaling, but for the most part, any jumping attack, jab, key blast, assist call, vanish starter, anything other than just the raw on the ground, mediums and heavies will scale your combo, so please keep them in mind. And also, that said, don't just try to make sure you're always starting your combos with, the mediums or heavies to get the most damage. Because while that looks really good in combo videos, and the reality situation is the guy who hit the light is going to beat you out every time for the most part. So don't neglect your light buttons because they are very, very important, even if you will get a little bit less damage overall in the end. Now, one very critical aspect of the game is the techs. And what I mean by techs is how you get up off the ground or recover in the air. So right now we have both mid-air and ground recovery set to back. So in the mid-air, he'll recover in the back, and on the ground, he'll recover on the back. But now let's say here, mid-air will recover him to forward, and ground will recover to up. So if we now do recovery where the enemy will hit the ground first, and then they can choose the recovery, he'll go up higher in the air than before. And if we have a possibility of an air recovery, he'll now go forward and leave in the corner. So these kind of things are very critical to learn. So generally speaking, if you are grounded, you can hold forward to wake up in place, backwards to backwards tech out. You can hold up to kind of jump upwards on the ground, or hold down to stay on the ground. And you'll stay on the ground a bit longer than normal. If you are in the air, you can hold upwards to tech upwards in the air, forward to tech forward, back to backwards, and down to go right down to the ground. So all these are very key things. So once again here, mid-air, we'll set it to down. So we smack him up in the air, he's coming straight down. Once again, so we set it to backwards again here. We hit him up in the air, he's going to go backwards. These things are super key. It's very easy to work with. All you have to do is just hold your direction you so choose. And you got to really keep this in mind, because these are the kind of things that help you let you escape when your back is against the wall. Now, we talked about techs, so let's show you the easiest way to make sure air techs happen. That's this situation right here. You might have seen before, if a combo turns blue, what does that mean? It means you could have teched out of the combo, but you didn't. So whenever that number turns blue, it means basically you had an opportunity to get out of the combo and you kind of botched it. So how do we make this very easy? Well, so right now, I'm going to be teching upwards. And how did I do that? All you have to do, and this is really simple, and a lot of people still don't kind of know this, you don't have to mash buttons or anything. All you have to do is hold a button of your choice. I usually hold the light punch button here during combo, and then hold your direction. And whenever there's a gap, you'll tech in that direction. So that right there, I held down. Generally speaking, down's your safest bet, as this brings you right to the ground. If you do stuff like hit forward, you might kind of get smacked by something else different. Or if you hold backwards or up in the corner, you might still be in a bad position. But generally speaking, once again, all you have to do is, once you're being comboed, hold the button, doesn't matter what button, and hold the direction you would like to tech in if they so do drop the combo. If they drop the combo for whatever reason, the direction you are picking, be it left, right, down or up, while you're holding the button, that is the direction you will tech in. So the game does have a guard cancel function, meaning if the enemy attacks you while you're blocking, you hit forward and assist, and you'll tag in on one of your teammates, whichever the assist button you hit, and it'll come and smack them out. And in Season 2, that is a lot stronger. Now, one thing you might not know is if the enemy chose to attack you here, and you have no teammates to tag to, it still works, but it works a little bit differently. So instead of the situation we had before, you now just teleport right behind them and give them the old what for. So this, generally speaking, is kind of the best guard cancel there is. The regular tag guard cancel doesn't work as well mid-screen. It's mostly reserved for the corner. This one works very well anywhere on screen. It's eminently safe and basically just gets people off you for the cost of one bar. Don't spam it too much, as you might hurt your bar gain, because once again, whenever you spend bar in this game now in Season 2, your bar gain is nerfed for a little bit. But still, keep this in mind, when you are down to your last character, this is basically absolutely your best defensive option, and for the most part is completely safe to do. Now, one thing that's pretty important that not really mentioned in the game tutorials is what we have dubbed the ultimate Z change, and that's basically this. So how do I do that? How do I just combo into a stand jab into one of my tag team supers? So how we do that is this. So I'll turn on my input so you can see what I'm doing here. So during any hit, and it has to be a hit, if this is blocked it's not going to work. During any successful hit, all you have to do is half circle forward. So back to down, down, forward, forward, and then the appropriate assist button. So we'll tag in Ginyu to do his level 1 here. So half circle forward, and Ginyu, we use the assist button, that's appropriate tagging Ginyu, and there you go. So a lot of characters, depending on their combo structure, maybe they don't have the best ender or whatever, and you want to use an opponent, or sorry, one of your allies level 1 or level 3 supers. So say in this situation here, we want to use Zamasu's level 3. So how do we do a level 3 instead of a level 1? So a level 1 is half circle forwards, and if you want to tag into a level 3, all you have to do is half circle backwards, meaning forward, down, back, or sorry, forward, down, back, and then back. So here we will now go into hits level 3. So that's really all there is to it. Keep it in mind, it's also a really good way in the middle of a combo if the character can't reliably super themselves, or you only have, say, 1 bar, and you want to tag out a character with a lot of blue health. This is a fantastic way just to safely get the character who has, say, health to recover out, and someone else in. So one thing to note here about the Sparking Blast technique. Yes, it makes you do more damage, makes you gain more bar, recover some of your health, all that good stuff. But it also lets you jump cancel everything that you normally couldn't. So be it moves that lets you, normally you could not jump cancel, or just, you know, in situations where you couldn't normally jump cancel. So here's the enemy blocking just fine here, and here's me jumping over the head for an instant overhead on the other side. So you're allowed to jump cancel everything. Be it normals that normally cannot be jump canceled, or just be it situations like on block, where the enemy is blocking everything you normally are only allowed to jump cancel normals on hit. It doesn't really matter. You are able to jump cancel everything on Sparking, and that's one of the true threats of it, making an offensive dynamo. Now, on the note of Sparking Blast, let's talk about assists in Sparking Blast. 1. While you're in Sparking Blast, assists will recover 1 full second faster than they normally do. So you can see here, hit recovers, and if we were to call him normally with no sparking, while he certainly doesn't recover a lot slower, it is just a little bit slower. So generally speaking, across the board, assists will recover 1 full second ahead of time while you are in Sparking Blast. Also, very important to know, while you are in Sparking Blast, assists will regenerate even mid-combo. So if we do something like incredibly basic like this, as you see, during the combo, Hit was already beginning to have his assist regenerate while we're doing that. So for a lot of touch of death combos, this is incredibly key, but also just as a note, keep in mind, be very liberal with your assist use while you're in Sparking. You don't have to fear it too much because, 1, they're coming back quicker than normal anyways, and if you use them in the middle of a combo, they'll be ready for you by the end of the combo anyway, so very key thing to keep in mind. Now, one thing that's mildly important for certain pressure strings, certain combo strings, is to hold back during a light attack. So right now, I'm just jamming on the light button, right? I'm getting my auto combo. Now, if I hold back during this, well, I'm not getting my auto combo. I'm still jamming on the button, right? But it is stopping me from getting my auto combo. So if you are looking to not necessarily get an auto combo, that can be pretty important. Also, much more important, I have 16 as an example here because he's one of the best examples of it. So if I do this, go in the air and just jam on light once again here, as you see here, it goes right into my auto combo. Now, if I do this and hold back, he'll instead do light. So this actually is mildly important because we can get some decent combos off this. So just to show you an example here. So I'm going to start with stand heavy and then just go for lights. And then we go for the auto combo. All well and good, right? But if I hold back and instead get this double light we showed here that's only possible while holding back, then we can get a decent combo structure from it. So that combo specifically is only possible because we're holding backwards in light to get the exact proper spacing and height we need for that combo to work. If you just went for that normally, it would never work. It doesn't work the same for every character, I'm going to tell you right now. Some people can get double lights in the air, some people can't. But specifically if you are a character who can do it and you don't want to do the auto combo, this is a fantastic little tip that is of great help. Now here's a tip I have mentioned, I think quite a few times in different videos, but still always bears keep in mind, especially because aerial movement is so important in this game. If you jump and then double jump, that's it, you can't do anything else. If you jump and dash, that's it, you can't do anything else. So you can jump and then double jump, or jump and then dash, and that's it, with a couple exceptions, but for the most part that's it. Now if you already use all your air actions, so we've already double jumped and then we block a homing dash, what that does is it refreshes your air actions. So we double jump here, now we can dash. Before we double jump, we absolutely cannot dash. Much the same here. If we attempt to dash, then block, then we can then double jump. So whenever you block a homing dash, no matter what you did before that, please keep in mind you still now have your original air options back, meaning you forward dash, back dash, or just double jump in the air. Since homing dash is, at all levels of play, homing dash is a super critical part of the game. So keep it in mind, as it'll definitely help your mobility options and help you recover from the block afterwards, regardless of what you want to do, be it defense or offense. Now, one very important feature of fighting games in training mode is utilizing the dummy. Now, I'm assuming you're going to be using regular controller for this. Arcade sticks, for the most part, have a little bit of trouble, some models to models, on having L3 and R3 buttons, but if you have an arcade stick with it, that's great. So all you have to do here in this game is hit your L3 button, that's your left analog stick, click it in, and once you click it in, you are now controlling your dummy character. And you can make them do whatever you want, doesn't really matter. Now, if you click it in a second time, what's going to happen is your moves are starting to be recorded, and if you click it in a third time, the recording is finished. Now if you click in your right stick, your R3 button, what's going to happen now is that recording you just did is going to show up, and from there you can just kind of practice anything you want. So if you want to practice specific setups, if you want to practice blocking, specific combos here, like that one is just recorded now. We're going to hit our R3 button. Alright, we are now doing this. Okay, now we know we gotta block low, and they did that, and we get a punish, right? So, it's fairly simple, but also fairly important. Also, if you go here to Training Dummy Recording Settings, so you see here it's slot 1, so you can save multiple slots. We actually have 8 slots where you can save stuff, so I go to slot 5. Right now it says Frieza, but right now, say I just want to do that, and it'll play back. Now that slot 5 is Jiren, and it'll be remembered until I so choose to overwrite it. So we also have playback methods. So normal, random, repeat, and repeat randomly. So normal, you do the thing, it's done, and it'll play out, that's fine. And when it's over, it's over. Random will pick randomly from the slots you have of the character. So if you have, say, all 8 slots filled with Jiren, when you hit the R3 playback button, it'll play one of those randomly. And repeat will just play it over and over and over until you so stop it. So things like this are very key to learning your characters, very key to learning enemy characters, how to defend yourself from offense, because remember, offense is just one half of the game, right? Defense is the other half. So if you don't know how to defend yourself, you're going to be in big trouble. So this can definitely help a lot, and it's definitely a valuable tool to learn. Another invaluable thing to learn while you're in training mode is setting up the enemy on defense. So we see here we have guard and counterattack settings. These are 2 very key ones to have here, on top of the recoveries, which we'll talk about in a second here. But guard, so normally you hit the dummy in training mode, you just smack them, that's all there is to it, right? So if we have him set to guard all, now it doesn't matter, overheads, lows, whatever, he is just gonna stop everything. So now we also have guard follow-ups, meaning he will take the first hit, but any successive follow-ups, so say we do this, and then we go for this, he'll block that. So say you have pressure or something where you expect the first hit to happen, then they'll guard everything after that. That's good for that. Conversely, we have guard first only. So the initial pressure, he'll block it all, but as soon as there's a gap, like say in Cooler's auto combo string here, they'll let go as soon as there is a gap. So you can use this to simulate button presses or whatever. And going from there, we also have random block. Now, on top of that, we also have the counter attack settings. So say we smack the enemy and we haven't set the light punch, he's going to smack us back with a light punch. Very valuable sometimes. Much the same here. So you have like pretty much every possible permutation. So Z reflect. So we showed here how there's a gap in Cooler's auto combo string, right? So now we do this when he set the guard all. He's going to reflect us on the first opportunity there's a gap. Because there is a gap, he's going to do whatever's in here. So we have it set to Z reflect, and he's going to show us, hey, he can reflect that. So if you're looking for See if there's any gaps in your strings. This is a very valuable lesson to learn. Also, going all the way like to the ultimate follow through of that. If there's a gap in your string, then like, hey, you can level 3 right through it, right? So learning these kind of things is very valuable. Also, we have him set to level 3 after he blocks or gets hit by a move, and you can set it to anything. You can set it to whatever special you want. So that's his low hit counter. That's for Jiren specifically, anyways. But yeah, so using things like this is very important. And also, not just the guards and not just the moves here. Also, keep in mind that you got to check your recoveries. So if the enemy is smacked and you let them recover, that's a back recovery. And this is air specifically. They can also forward recovery, down recovery. You can mess with the recovery settings because sometimes certain setups, certain combos will let the enemy recover in certain ways, and this is a way to test it in kind of a worry-free environment. So we have mid-air recovery, ground recovery, much the same here. So if we smack them, they can go up, stay in place. You can even set it so their delay is like maximum, so if you smack them, they're going to stay on the ground for as long as possible, that kind of stuff. So all these features are very important when it comes to learning how to, deal with a defending opponent. Now, one feature I find pretty important for online play, for, just kind of use and good experience, is the marker list. The marker list, for all intents and purposes, effectively functions like a blacklist. So if you are matched up with someone who is on your marker list, you'll see the icon, it'll change colors, and hey, this is the guy you've specifically marked, so you'll probably want to avoid it. For me personally, I use this a lot in situations where when I match up with someone and we just don't have a good connection. Nothing against the person, but if our connections just don't work together, I'm going to put you on the marker list so I know I can avoid bad connections in the future. So to get to it, all you have to go is to the player list, and right now you see here battle history, follow all that, so we have a marker list here already. So, say we go to battle history and we go to casual matches, right? And say we can pick a name from there, and nothing against this gentleman, I'm just using you as an example. We can add you to the marker list, and then all of a sudden, you're on the marker list, so when we get matched up together, I'll see they're on the marker list, and then I can avoid the match. We don't actually want to put this person on the marker list, so we're good. But just as an example, right? So you can just do this to anybody if you have unfavorable connections or whatever reason you might so choose. You can use this to avoid people in matchmaking and generally help that you don't have a poor experience online. Now, one thing that's very important for player growth is just checking out your own replays, right? Just see the matches you had. Generally, it's it's a little difficult. Generally it's better to check the matches you lost rather than the matches you won. And all I gotta do is talk to this helpful gentleman here. View the replay channel. So there's the official channel, top player, all that kind of stuff. So the one you want to go to is my channel. So say here we want to search here. Let's say I know for a fact I lost bad in the casual match here. So I'm going to set the casual match and then go to view selected. And then it'll just be a bunch of replays of all my casual matches. So then I could say, oh, this one here looks like I lost, right? So I could go and download the replay and go from there. So then you will just be viewing the match, and then you can just kind of learn a lot from what happened. Watching videos of you losing, I know it sucks, but this is legitimately one of the best ways to learn because you can see where you went wrong. And of course, you can view your own ranked matches, you can view any kind of matches you did. This is the menu you want to do it from. And there you have it. So I hope any of these have helped you out any decent amount. For you, the new or returning player, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a great game, and I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Anyways, that's it for me, and that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.